Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we'll be reviewing the AEV Wrangler. This particular one has the classic package. I think you guys are really going to like it if you like kind of more retro designs. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy for giving me some time with this Wrangler. I'll include a link to the website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide as well. Let's get into it. So powering this particular Wrangler is the Pentastar V6, 3.6 liter V6 naturally aspirated, goes through an 8-speed, puts out 285 horsepower and then 260 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the hood, this has the Rubicon hood there, you can see with the vents, but then notice with the Rubicon logo, white with the bronze, really cool. Now, being the 24, you've got the new style of grille. AEV adds these cool light pods. You can see the hoop there at the top, and then we've got the fog lights integrated into AEV's custom bumper. We've got a winch integrated as well, and so it just looks a lot cooler than stock. I mean, look at that, it's like a safari rig. Now, our tire wheel setup is 37 by 12.5 by 17 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see with the wheels white to go with the kind of more retro theme. These are AEV's Salta wheels, so they're specifically made for off-roading. And you can see pretty aggressive tread pattern there. Now we also have custom shocks as well, if the camera will focus, there we go. These shocks are from Bilstein, but they are calibrated for this specific Wrangler with the V6 and all of that. You also have upgraded springs as well. And then you can see again with more of the white and the bronze, got the AEV badge there on the side. Rock rail protection, that's from the factory, this is Rubicon. But look at this thing! That looks so cool. Now here's a quick look at the shocks there in the rear. And then you can see the bumper here. And then notice we've got the upgraded spare tire carrier. You can see how it kind of loops through and ties into the frame there. You've got the light pod here in the back. And then this one also has the diff cover as well. So that's always a nice thing to have for off-road use. And then we've got the extra gas storage. And if you're wondering, it still opens with the swing gate with this whole thing. It is heavier though, with the added weight from everything. So that is something to note. Didn't feel like it was closed, but it was. But yeah, look at this thing. Again, it's so cool looking. This is ready to go to Moab, but in style. And then this leads us inside. So I'll quickly show you guys. Didn't change anything here, but they did change this. So we've got these custom seats. So it's like leather on the outside and then cloth on the inside. It's an interesting combo. It looks like we got AEV there on the gauge cluster too. But yeah, you can see on the headrest and with that combo. And then this is built off of a Rubicon, so we've got front and rear locking differential setup. Got the sway bar disconnect as well. So, you know, it's got all that. Now I've got two window stickers to look at. This is the Rubicon window sticker, so you can see it's a 61 MSRP, so basically a base model Rubicon. That's what this is built off of. And then we've got the AEV window sticker, so you can see everything that's standard with this package. And then we do have some options added to it. $92,879 is the total MSRP after all options and everything. Let's see how it drives. So, AEV Wrangler Classic. Really cool with the retro theme. I'm not so sure how to feel about the cloth on the seats. I'm just not a fan of cloth, but I think that's also the fact that, well, got younglings, and when you have younglings, you're not a fan of anything that stains easy. So, maybe the Classic is more of a boomer mobile. That's probably the way to put it. Which, hey, makes sense. They like classic stuff too, and they've got the money to buy it. They got those boomer bucks. Boomer bucks, the most valuable currency known to man. But seriously, these seats are comfortable. They're nice. And they look cool, the coloration and everything. It would have been really cool if they did like the tan on other parts of the interior, but, well, then things start to get real costly, so I understand why not. Now, I reviewed quite a few of these AEV Wranglers, and I really like them. So, first off, you know, they re-gear them because 37s, right? The Rubicon already has a 410 axle ratio, which can move 37s, but re-gearing helps out with moving those 37s even better. So it has no problem with getting up and going about its thing. Now, Bilstein makes very solid shocks, and I mean that on all fronts. So with Bilstein shocks, they're just firm, which, you know, obviously leads to a little bit of a firmer ride, but it helps out the ride quality, especially and handling, especially with the Wrangler. Wrangler kind of has like wishy-washy, floaty ride. So with those firmer shocks, it makes it so this can actually go around corners and handles well. And that firmer ride means it's not so wishy-washy on the road, so it helps out with the on-road ride quality quite a bit. It's just a nice experience overall. So I personally think they did a fantastic job with this setup, and it's cool that they, you know, went to Bilstein and, you know, had them calibrate the shocks for the different Wrangler engines, so that you don't, like, if you have the same shocks on a 392, like, that's so much more weight over the front wheels, that's just gonna be weird. It's gonna drive weird. This, though, drives well. And it's got pretty good power. It's not a rocket ship by any means. See in a second with the acceleration, but it moves at the pace it needs to move at. That is for sure. Torque's nice. Not too shabby. Obviously, this Mazda's going like 2 miles an hour, so we didn't really get a real get up and go. Well, in a second. Kind of give them some time. Vroom vroom. Yeah, again, not fast, but the transmission smooths things out. Gotta let the engine scream a little bit, but it gets the job done. It gets the job done. Not a problem whatsoever. So, this package on the Wrangler. Overall, you guys know I'm a big fan of, like I said, AEV's whole setup. Like, I don't want to throw shade at other companies, but let's just put it this way. Other companies modify Wranglers, and, you know, they might change the looks a little bit, but they're not practical. This is actually practical, and that's the thing that people need to understand about AEV. They release their packages later than a lot of the other aftermarket companies, and that's because they spend a ton of time in R&D with making it so their stuff is reliable, durable, and practical. If you look at everything on this car, nothing is superfluous. Nothing. The wheels are practical for off-roading. The tires, obviously, that helps out with clearance off-road. The bumper, that makes it so that you can add all the stuff that this has with the, and you can add a winch from the factory, but their bumper is a little bit better with the clearances compared to stock, and you can step on it. It has the little things where you can stand, or you can, you know, use it as like a knee pad. So it has practical things like that. So lots of practicality built in. And then you look at the gas in the back. So you got extra gas storage built right in. And then the spare tire carrier, how it's like mounted up to the frame, so it's much more secure with the spare tire. So that allows you to have more weight with the gas. And it looks good. It's just, it's really, like, just, if you have never seen one of these up close in person, go to a dealership, like the Dodge Ram here in Sandy, and look at one. Just look at it in person. Look at the build quality of the items added to it, and you'll see what I'm talking about, where it's just really solid product. And again, there's a reason why everyone is starting to use AEV that's in the off-road world, because AEV takes off-roading seriously. They also had skid plates. That's another thing I forgot to mention. They had skid plates underneath, so they do stuff that, like, other aftermarket companies won't add skid plates, because it's something that costs money, it adds to the price of the vehicle, and it doesn't add to the looks. And so it's not practical in their sense of just trying to make as much money as possible on the product. So it's just really well built. So again, just go check out one of these AEVs, whether it's the Jeep they make in the Ram, you know, the new Colorado, the new GMC Canyon, the Silverado, Sierra. There's a lot of vehicles that and the Gladiator, they do these packages on. Just go drive one and you'll understand what I'm talking about, where it's just really high quality stuff. And so if you are gonna like do serious off-roading with the Wrangler, for example, AEV is the way to go. So let me know your thoughts.